Hello, friends, welcome back to Legend Voice. Today, we reveal the story of a fearless queen who challenged powerful traditions and rose to rule the Delhi Sultanate. In a world dominated by kings, she proved that courage has no gender. This is the legendary story of Razia Sultana, the queen who defied an empire of men. A daughter born into power 1205 CE in the early 13th century, when much of the world was shaped by swords, dynasties, and rigid traditions. The idea of a woman ruling a mighty empire was almost unthinkable. In 1205 CE, in the powerful court of the Delhi Sultanate, a girl was born who would challenge that very belief. Her name was Razia al-Din, known to history as Razia Sultana. She was the daughter of Shams ud-Din Iltutmish, one of the most capable rulers of the Delhi Sultanate, and a princess born into royalty but not into freedom. Though she grew up inside palaces of wealth, decorated halls, and royal authority, Razia was born into a world where her gender alone was expected to define her limits. In those times, daughters of rulers were often prepared for diplomacy, marriage, or quiet political influence, not kingship. But Razia was different from the beginning. She was sharp, observant, and intellectually gifted. While others expected her to learn courtly grace, she learned power. If you're enjoying this powerful story, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more incredible history. A princess. Unlike any other, Razia's father, Sultan Iltutmish, quickly noticed something extraordinary about his daughter. She possessed qualities rare even among princes: intelligence, leadership, courage, political understanding. Unlike many royal daughters, Razia was educated deeply in statecraft, administration, military strategy, literature, religion. She learned Arabic and Persian, studied governance, and understood how kingdoms were truly held together, not by luxury but by order. More importantly, she watched her father rule. She observed decisions, justice, diplomacy, and military campaigns. And over time, Sultan Iltutmish began to realize something bold. Razia was more capable than many of his sons. This realization would later shake the empire. The father's bold decision. As Razia matured, her abilities became impossible to ignore. On one occasion, while Sultan Iltutmish left Delhi for a military campaign, Razia was entrusted with overseeing the capital. It was a test, and she passed, not merely adequately, but brilliantly. She managed court affairs, listened to public grievances, maintained order, and demonstrated a ruler's instinct. When Iltutmish returned, he saw what others feared to admit. His daughter had ruled with wisdom. According to historical accounts, Iltutmish publicly declared Razia as his preferred heir, believing she was more competent than his sons. This was revolutionary. A woman heir to the Delhi Sultanate? For many nobles, this was unacceptable, not because she lacked ability, but because she challenged tradition. Death of Iltutmish and the rise of chaos. 1236. When Sultan Iltutmish died in 1236, his vision for Razia faced immediate resistance. The Turkish nobles, powerful elites of the court, rejected the idea of a female ruler. Instead, they placed her brother Ruknuddin Firuz on the throne. But Ruknuddin was not his father. He was inexperienced, indulgent, and more interested in pleasure than governance. Real power shifted to his mother, Shah Turkan, whose cruelty and political purges created unrest. The people suffered, the nobles divided, and the empire weakened. Razia watched, and when the moment came, she acted. Razia takes the throne. Razia did something extraordinary. She directly appealed to the people of Delhi. Standing before the public, she exposed the corruption and incompetence destroying the Sultanate. Her courage resonated. The people supported her. Rukn-ud-Din was removed, and in 1236, Razia ascended the throne, not as Sultana, which often implied wife or consort, but as Sultan Razia. This title mattered. She was not someone's queen. She was the ruler. If this powerful story inspires you, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more untold history. Tell us in the comments, do you think Razia Sultana was ahead of her time? The woman who dressed like a king. Razia understood power was not only political, it was symbolic. To command authority in a deeply patriarchal empire, she broke convention. She appeared in public wearing royal robes traditionally associated with male rulers. She rode horses, led armies, held court openly, abandoned the veil in official matters. This was shocking to many, but Razia knew something critical. If she appeared weak, the throne would be weak. She was not rejecting femininity, she was asserting sovereignty. A just and capable ruler, once in power, Razia focused on governance. She worked to strengthen the Delhi Sultanate through administrative reform, justice, public welfare, merit based appointments. She promoted capable individuals regardless of aristocratic lineage. This was one of her greatest strengths and one of her greatest political dangers, because by empowering merit over noble privilege, she threatened elite power structures. Still, Razia remained committed. She was known for hearing her subjects, addressing grievances, and maintaining strong central authority. For ordinary citizens, she represented fairness. For threatened nobles, she represented disruption. Jamal-ud-Din Yaqut and political fire. One of the most controversial chapters of Razia's reign involved Jamal-ud-Din Yaqut, an Abyssinian Habshi officer whom she elevated to a prominent military position. Yaqut was loyal and capable, but his rise angered Turkish nobles, not only because of his background, but because Razia's trust in him symbolized independence from their influence. Rumors spread, accusations intensified, political enemies weaponized prejudice and gender against her. Whether their relationship was personal or purely political remains debated. But what is certain is this: Yaqut became a focal point for rebellion and betrayal. The nobles, already uneasy with Razia's authority, now moved openly against her. A major rebellion emerged under Malik Altunia, governor of Bathinda. Razia marched to suppress it, but fate turned cruel. During conflict, Yaqut was killed. Razia was captured. For the first time, the Sultan, who had defied men's expectations, found herself imprisoned. Her throne was taken. Her half-brother, Bahram Shah, was installed as ruler. It seemed Razia's story was over, but legends rarely end quietly. Alliance with Altunia. In captivity, something unexpected happened. Razia and Malik Altunia's relationship changed, whether through political pragmatism, mutual respect, or evolving trust. They formed an alliance. Eventually, Razia married Altunia. Together, they planned to reclaim Delhi. This was not surrender. This was strategy. Razia was determined to take back what she believed was rightfully hers. The final battle for Delhi, 1240, Razia and Altunia gathered forces and marched toward Delhi. But reclaiming an empire is harder than winning one. Bahram Shah's forces were stronger, support was fragmented, and political momentum had shifted. In 1240, Razia faced her final defeat. Exhausted, outnumbered, and abandoned by many, she and Altunia fled. But fate had one final cruelty. Near Kaithal, they were reportedly killed, likely by local bandits or enemies. Razia Sultana died not on a golden throne, but in struggle. She was around 35 years old. Death of a queen, birth of a legend, Razia's reign lasted only about 3 years and 6 months. By historical standards, brief. But impact is not measured only in time. It is measured in defiance. She became the first and only widely recognized female Sultan of Delhi. In a world built to exclude her, she ruled in an empire dominated by men. She commanded in a political system designed to silence women. She spoke with power. Final reflection: Razia's true legacy. Razia Sultana's story is not merely about gender. It is about capability confronting tradition, She was not extraordinary because she was a woman ruler. She was extraordinary because she was a strong ruler who happened to be a woman. Her life reminds us power often threatens those who fear change, and courage often means stepping into roles the world says you cannot hold. Razia did not simply sit on a throne, she challenged an entire system. She ruled with courage, fought against impossible odds, and left her name in history forever. This was the inspiring story of Razia Sultana. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, like, follow, and share your thoughts in the comments below.